Take a deep breath, because this story is about how an ordinary life turned into an extraordinary tale. Let's get started. Harold Thompson, a retired schoolteacher, sat in his modest home one afternoon, sorting through a box of mementos. It had been years since he had last opened it. Inside were old report cards, trinkets from students, and photographs capturing moments from his teaching career. Among the items, he found a yellowed envelope with a letter inside. The handwriting on the envelope sparked a long-buried memory. The letter was from Timothy Andrews, a student Harold had taught decades ago. As Harold unfolded the paper, he recalled Timothy as a shy and struggling boy from a troubled home. In the letter, Timothy expressed gratitude for a moment that Harold himself had nearly forgotten. "Mr. Harold, you once told me, 'It doesn't matter where you start, Timothy. What matters is where you're going.' Those words changed my life. You were the first person to believe in me." Moved, Harold realized he had never responded to the letter. Overwhelmed with a sense of unfinished business, he decided to find Timothy and express the gratitude that Timothy had inspired in him. Harold embarked on his journey with nothing but Timothy's old letter as a lead. After days of inquiries, he discovered that Timothy had started a youth mentorship organization in the city. Intrigued, Harold contacted the organization under the guise of being a supporter, arranging a meeting. When Harold arrived, he was greeted by Timothy, now an accomplished man in his 40s. Despite the passing years, Timothy immediately recognized his former teacher. "Mr. Harold, is it really you?" Timothy asked, stunned. Harold smiled warmly, holding out the letter. "I owe you an unwritten reply, Timothy." Timothy's face lit up with joy as he invited Harold inside. Over coffee, the two men reminisced. Timothy shared how Harold's words of encouragement had steered him away from a life of despair. He had pursued his education, earned a degree, and eventually founded the mentorship program to help young people facing challenges similar to his own. Timothy pulled out a file from the table, brimming with stories of the youth he had mentored. One had been accepted to law school, another had become a celebrated artist, and another had launched a thriving small business. "Every success story," Timothy said, "is an echo of the words you said to me, Mr. Harold. You gave me a chance that day. Now I pass that chance on to others." As the hours passed, Harold marveled at Timothy's achievements. "I never imagined that a small moment could ripple out like this. You've shown me the true legacy of teaching," Harold said, his voice thick with emotion. At the end of their conversation, Timothy introduced Harold to his family. His children listened with wide eyes as Timothy recounted the pivotal moment that had changed his life. His wife embraced Harold, thanking him for the role he had unknowingly played in shaping their family's future. Before leaving, Timothy handed Harold a photograph of his family as a token of gratitude. Harold, in turn, gave Timothy an old photograph from his teaching days, the class picture that included a young, wide-eyed Timothy. On his way home, Harold stopped at a park bench and reread Timothy's letter. His eyes glistened with tears, but his heart was light. To himself, he thought, a small word can change the course of someone's life, and sometimes the greatest lesson a teacher can give is a moment of compassion. As the sun set, Harold slipped Timothy's letter and photograph into his pocket, cherishing the unexpected reminder of how profoundly lives can intertwine.